Next is a prize for community service.
At the age of 27, Sister Geraldine Ryan decided to travel to the farthest country from Ireland, which was South Korea, to serve as a medical missionary and change the lives of persons with disabilities in the country. At the time, the concept of rights and welfare of persons with disabilities was unknown. Discrimination and indifference were rampant, and they were shunned even by their own families. There was a perception that if there was a problem in the family, there would be a child with a disability, so they would keep their child at home. Sister Geraldine wanted to create a world where persons with disabilities are respected as members of society, just like those without disabilities. She established a very first rehabilitation facilities for persons with disabilities in Mokpo in a 23-pyong rented apartment on the outskirts of the city, but no parent was willing to send their children. So what they would say is that there's no need, there's an orphanage on the island so that we can send them there. She had to face many challenges and crisis that almost left her on the street after losing her key money for her house. It was so difficult. I don't know how to describe the challenges I was facing. I was running around with my shoes falling off trying to get support. It was about a struggle alone and finding a way through a society that was indifferent to persons with disabilities. A facility with persons with disabilities was set up to make and sell things like carnations, and she convinced local merchants to allow persons with disabilities to live a normal life where they could buy their own goods and earn money through their own effort. And she also engaged the community in social integration as well as vocational training. Help began to come in the form of welfare center, dedicated to specialized rehabilitation and education of persons with developmental disabilities, and daycare centers for the treatment and care of infants and children with disabilities, and other centers to help persons with disabilities become more independent and self-sufficient, filling the lives of persons with disabilities with hope. I am Kim Gang-tae, a barista who loves coffee. I am Yumi-ok, a postal worker. Well, Sister's favorite is the bread that I bake. "49 years together as friends and family of the persons with disabilities. And at the age of 80, Sister Geraldine Ryan's journey is far from over. Our Heavenly Father, give our friends the wisdom and strength they need to live hand in hand as part of society."
Sister Geraldine Ryan, please step forward to receive your prize. 수상자이신 제라딘 라이언
Sister Geraldine Ryan, please come forward. Yes, congratulations, Sister Geraldine Ryan. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. We will now hear from Sister Geraldine Ryan.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, fellow laureates, and Samsung Hoan committee members. I feel greatly humbled as I stand here before you this afternoon. Reading the works of previous and of today's laureates, I feel somewhat embarrassed to stand at this podium and to receive the Hoam Prize for Community Service. However, I accept this award on behalf of the Mionda family for persons with learning disabilities, their families, our staff, benefactors, and many volunteers who have journeyed with us on our journey in helping these special people develop to their full potential and take their place living and working in society. To you I say thank you. Thank you for believing in us when others would tell me that I was wasting my time and to go home. By nature, we human beings stand completely in need of life in society and always exist in reference to that society. This would imply that all people have a recognized place in their society. But for all too long, society has failed to acknowledge that persons with disabilities had an equal right to live and work within their society. It has been the case of out of sight, out of mind. I believe that if we were to achieve our goal of persons with disabilities living and working in society, being part of that society, then we needed to establish ourselves within the society. Hence, we started in a small 23-pound rented apartment on the outskirts of Mopo City. By day, the rooms were our classrooms and the sitting room our workshop. At night, it was our home. There are many islands off Mopo, so those coming from the islands would live in with us in this small group home setting. Thank you very much to the people of Mopo who welcomed us to live among them. In order to be integrated into society, we believe that it is important that our members know how society functions. Also, while some of our people, rather than call them clients, we refer to them as our people, would have had some elementary education, others did not have any formal education. Since their needs vary greatly, the educational programs were on a one-to-one, so as to meet each person's needs. Through social training programs, we provided opportunities for them to actualize what they had been taught in the class in a real-life situation. With the weekly allowance from the workshop, we would go shopping. We always took public transport, again, a lived experience of integrating with the people in a normal setting. Our volunteers helped with social training. They would go in small groups so as not to attract much attention to ourselves. In the mid and late 80s, we saw Korean society, which greatly influenced by the Confucian values on education and the drive for success, leap into the 21st century. This industrial success put Korea among the industrial nations of the world. However, those who were or are not part of this economic and industrial development-driven society were left on the fringes, without work and without possibilities. Persons with disabilities run the risk of being left behind in this race for success, and we need to define what their role is in a very changed society. From the beginning, we aimed at being financially viable and also training our people towards financial independence. This meant finding a work that our people could do and that would meet a need in the society. We made carnations for Parents' Day, a year's work for one-day sale. We also made slippers for hospitals, and some artists designed Christmas cards for us. These we sold to schools, churches, and wherever we could get an opportunity. The income from the sales of the cards helped us pay our staff a stipend, and from the carnations helped us to buy the material for the coming year and also give our people their stipend every week. Today, there are up to 80 of our people in open employment and in workshops, living independently in the community. Their sense of achievement and satisfaction with themselves is tangible. While government have passed laws stressing the rights of persons with disabilities, society in general need to see them as people, having a positive contribution to make to the society, rather than seeing them as a burden and always needing to be on the receiving end of the society. Ask yourselves, if you had lived your life so far, never been asked your opinion, never been supported to stretch yourself, and always being underestimated, what might you have achieved, or how different would your life be today? In 2013, the Black Lives Matter movement was founded in the United States. Today, I say, the lives of persons with disabilities matter. It matters to them, to their families, and to society as a whole. They did not ask for a handicap, nor did our parents ask for a child with a disability. Their struggle to make it in society can be far greater than that of their non-handicapped peers. I am most grateful to Samsung and the Hoam Foundation for acknowledging that the lives of persons with disabilities matter in granting this award. I must sincerely acknowledge the contribution of our benefactors, the generosity of our volunteers, and the dedication of our staff. This award is as much for and about you as it is for me. Lastly, I would like to invite all of you here this evening to help make the lives of persons with disabilities matter wherever you are in the world. Thank you.